Fabulous made this statement not too long ago.
To be a real New Yorker, you got to be born and raised here. And that's how I look at it. I think you could move to New York and you could live in New York and you could embody New York, but to make you a real New Yorker, to me,
to make you a native New Yorker.
yeah, you gotta be
born
to
from
make
the
you
soil,
a New Yorker.
basically.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, when I heard that statement, it kind of hit a nerve, you know what I'm saying? And it's probably because I'm one of those people that came from another country and had to find somewhere to call home, right? In my journey, it was Jersey City. Jersey City was the next place from Trinidad, and that was considered home, right? Now, on behalf of the thousands and millions of people that might have shared my exact journey, that statement would warrant some sort of response, right? And I'm gonna explain why. In order to become a United States citizen, an individual have to be here for a minimum of 5 years as a green card holder just to become eligible. And there's a process that you have to go through, and it's called a naturalization process. Number 2, a gang member. Before a gang member is initiated, there's a process that he or she has to go through to become eligible or qualified to be a part of that specific gang. They usually either go through getting jumped in for a certain amount of time. They usually are branded in some way and sworn in. And after they actually are sworn in, who can tell them that they're not an official member of that gang when they have already been initiated, when they have already put in the work? Same thing for citizenship. When someone becomes a citizen, they've already went through the process of being naturalized, right? How can you tell them they can't call themselves a U.S. citizen? Fat Joe went through a time period not too long ago even where he was pressed about using the word nigger, you know what I'm saying? Because people felt like, you're not really a nigger, you know what I'm saying? And to justify that statement, because I'm one of those people that didn't necessarily consider him a nigger. And this is the reason why. Niggas get profiled for no reason. A traffic citation or a traffic stop could turn into a homicide and be called police brutality. You know what I mean? Niggas get killed and authorities say they was in fear of their life. And just because of that statement, thousands of young black men have lost their lives. You know what I mean? Because of police officers falsifying their reason for exercising police brutality on a young black male. Niggas get 30 years for charges that white people, typically a young white male, would get a slap on the wrist for. You know what I'm saying? To our defense, niggas got nappy hair. You feel me? Fat Joe is almost white in complexion. His hair is blonde. His eyes is like hazel or something. You know what I'm saying? Far from the description of what we know to be the physical description of a nigga. And I'm not saying he didn't go through some sort of struggle with regards to what they would deem to be minorities, but he just don't look the part. You know what I'm saying? But that is not the main reason for me bringing up. That's just an example. Who can tell him that he's not justified in the reason why he feels comfortable using the term nigger? You know what I mean? Because he felt like he relates to our struggle in some way. He lived and came up in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And despite of how people feel. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you can't really just dictate who is a New Yorker, especially if they've lived on the land for over 5 years. Some people have been in New York 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, how could you blame someone for calling a place that you just so happen to be born and raised in not their home because they came in after you? You know what I'm saying? That to me doesn't make sense, but that was Fab's opinion. But to me, it's not really valid. But that's just my opinion. You feel me?
Your Honor,
I speak on behalf of the lost, on behalf of the little nigga tryna get a Porsche.